You guys know that I invest in stocks and real estate and mix and REITs and all the things. I do this because having multiple streams of income is very important to me. I want to retire early. I don't want to work until I'm old. I've actually built up those passive income streams to be over 6 figures a year. I like diversification and I like free money. So I was looking at an angel investing opportunity. This is when you invest in a startup company for equity in that business. So essentially I would have become a part owner in that company. Now, angel investing, equity partnerships, that kind of thing with startup companies, it's very risky. And the reason being is that they usually have a concept, but not a lot of sales to back it up. That's why they're looking for investor money so that they can continue to build up that company and get it ready to a place where it can be profitable. I did not end up going through with this investment, and I want to talk about some of the red flags that I saw that made this a no for me. P.S. I'm going to tell you as many details as I can without getting too specific because I signed an NDA. So the first red flag for me was the valuation of the company, or what they were saying the company was worth. When they were doing their presentation with projections of investor returns, they were using this future valuation, which is fine if you have a plan on how you're going to increase revenue and profitability to get to that point. Based on their valuation, they would have needed to 10x their current revenue to get to where they wanted to be. And hey, sometimes startups do great things and 10x doesn't seem that unreasonable, but I didn't agree with the strategy that they said was going to get them to that point. They told me that part of the way they were going to increase their revenues substantially was breaking out into other markets. My problem with this is they are a newer company and it took 3 years of development to get them to where they were then, to break into that first market, and their sales in that market were still very low. My whole thing is you need to learn to walk before you can run. Before you take your business and start expanding into other markets, you need to master the market that you're currently in. They would have also needed to spend a ton of human capital getting this product ready for these other markets because there are a lot of laws and legislations around what they are doing. So even though the concept is similar, they are completely different competitors there, and the product would need to essentially be completely remade. And that time means money. Also, the fact that they hadn't mastered their current market yet didn't show me that they really had proof of concept. Like, there are other companies that were successful in that industry, but they could not articulate to me what the value proposition of their company was. Like, why would somebody come to them over their competitor? They were slightly less expensive, but if you know anything about business, the worst way to compete is on price alone. They were offering a pretty sexy dividend to their equity partners. So they were giving away 25% of the equity in their company to the partners split up, and they were going to pay this dividend based on gross revenues. This means before expenses, before taxes. And it sounds sexy, right? As an investor, you're like, yeah, more money. However, if something seems too good to be true, maybe it is. If the company is giving away so much of its capital and it's in the stages where it needs to be reinvesting in itself to continue growth, especially if it's trying to break out into other markets, is it sustainable to give away 25% of your gross revenues? I don't think so. Even though I was really excited about the opportunity because I felt like it married a lot of the experience that I had and I would be an asset to the company, maybe in sort of like a consultancy or advisory role, I decided against proceeding with it. And I think my focus right now is going to be on buying a boring business. Right now, I think I want to start looking at something like a laundromat, something that is just like simple. It's recession proof. It doesn't require a lot of like employees. I don't want to manage a bunch of people. It's something that just kind of like does its thing, makes a little bit of money, and then adds another stream of income for me.